Greg Vaughn in the studio. Lee Manoir, Casey Hooper in the studio.
I would talk, but I've just been electrocuted by Craig's wires.
A little bit of
kind of a construction danger zone up here.
Dude, yes.
I have a dust allergy.
You'd be in trouble in here.
Yeah, no, we're. This is a lovely project you have going.
It's not my project. And the more they dig into it, the more I want them to leave me alone.
I really want to talk about the taser marks on my ankle bone.
That's got nothing to do with the studio.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. And taser marks. I was fast like a jackrabbit.
We're going back a couple weeks, right? Because I was gone last week.
Yeah, you were floating the ocean.
Yeah, somebody made me take a
Pretending
cruise.
like you're working.
Yeah. Somebody made me take a cruise with a bunch of musicians.
That would have been fun. Tell us about it, Craig. Where'd you go?
We went to Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and Falmouth, Jamaica. So some guy on the beach in Jamaica said, "Would you like to buy some Jamaican cigarettes?" I was like, "Is that what they call them down here?"
You're making me crazy.
Left-handed cigarettes.
I was like, "No, thank you, man." The red stripe is plenty.
Wow.
So ask him, did he pull off the Titanic move?
I did.
I
did. I didn't get any good pictures, though, of that because you're up there in the front of the boat, man. It is windy. That is all Hollywood made-up stuff because it is windy up there at the front of the boat.
Like that,
well, you can stand up there, but, man, the wind is just... You don't want your picture taken.
Have a seagull give you a little gift.
Yeah. Oh, that is the one thing. Did not have any mosquitoes out there in the middle of the ocean. You could sit up there on one of the decks and read or just take a nap and not get eaten up. I came home. I was outside for 5 minutes and got mosquito bites.
For those people out there listening, we would rather have sharks than mosquitoes.
Yes.
I mean, gee whiz. The cruise was awesome. The best highlight was we didn't have any mosquitoes or flies. It was wonderful.
No flies either, actually. And no cell phone service.
You're going so fast, they can't keep up with you.
Amen for no cell phone service.
I was blessed by not having things. It was great.
Awesome. That's good.
Well, while you were down there,
You were probably where it was like some sort of ocean view.
Well, we were in the same
property,
place you
right?
were.
Yes, you were. We
were on Earth.
Earth Ranch Rodeo is a 2-day rodeo. Yeah. Where do those people stay when they're not
on Earth?
Do they?
The Hilton that's there. Yeah.
Is that a camp out one?
Well, no, it's actually a deal where Friday night you have a set of ranches,
right,
and then Saturday is a whole other set of ranches. So guys don't stay over.
That must make it nice on at least your budget. Not having to find a place to stay or.
Yeah. But the ones coming in from a distance, they'll drive in, they'll sleep in their trucks or bedrolls or in their trailers.
Right.
But
good rodeo. Lots of teams. Lots of
good teams. In fact, we're going to kind of when we run through this deal. We have 5 ranches competing at this rodeo that actually have already qualified to go to the World Championships.
Oh, great.
So, the pool of ranches at this one, very competitive.
Now, those 5, do they throw out their competing team for this, or this is a chance to help, train the next generation kind of thing?
You have a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 6 guys on your ranch card.
Right.
And you keep the same bunch all year long. So you may have, out of that 6, you may have a couple of guys that have conflicts. They just have something they can't do.
Right.
So they may interchange a little bit here and there amongst that 6, but the ranch card's the same, and then they just kind of have to feel, who are they going to compete in that event that day.
Right.
That's kind of up to the captain.
You got to be at least 4 come from that ranch.
No, I just meant like if you had, it's almost like when you get down to the football, you're watching the playoffs, and all of a sudden all the best players are sitting on the bench because they don't want to get them injured and, getting ready for the playoffs to begin. So it's a good time to put your backup quarterback in there and let him get some experience and get him some throws in there. And I didn't know if it was the same sort of thing with the ranch rodeo. Like, okay, we've already made it. The rodeo's in a month and a half or so. Let's try the guy who didn't quite make the team, but he was pretty good because we might need him when we get there, kind of thing.
Well, they're still trying to earn that buck.
Yeah.
So it's a new rodeo to them. They've already qualified, so the pressure's off. But now every rodeo it's just an invite to the World Championship, which is huge. But that rodeo pays out. So there's still game on.
Still won it for the money.
So it'd be like the playoffs,
So it'll be like that final game of the season, and you still want Tom Brady to be in there because you're still going to get money out of that game.
Yeah, it's still rodeo.
You see a couple of times where maybe the captain that normally ropes or normally will go in and cut for Sorton or Brandon.
Right.
They might let another guy come, do that for experience.
Right.
You see that a couple of times. But Casey's right. I mean, they're not there just to fill a spot. They're there to win.
Yeah. So. Yeah. There's still a payout.
We have the entry fees run. $750 all the way to $2,000. So.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Get that money back. When it's a good rodeo, they like to have that practice too.
Yeah.
As a team and under the watch and under, kind of under the radar. They want to see that and feel that. So when they get here, some of the butterflies have not cocooned, but they're like out.
So was there a good buzz about, man, we're only 2 months out from the the rodeo down there?
The ranches that haven't qualified, see, they're feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
So we only have two more
to go.
Up. So when we were at Earth, there were 3 left, so you only got 3 chances. Some of those guys they're not going to any other, so Earth was their last time to to get in, and so there was a few that were pushing it.
Yeah.
Tried to do some things that they probably knew were going to get them, but if they didn't, you just got to go for it.
Yep.
And that happens sometimes.
And this one, I guess, the winner was actually already qualified, right? So this is actually the winner was just like what you said, just there for the payout of this one.
Right. They had already entered. Yeah. Probably didn't want to put the committee in a pinch.
Yeah.
And so they went up there and
you didn't
they're
offer
on
to
a
step
roll.
in? You could offer, like, if they just wanted to say, we're going to drop out of this rodeo, get the Casey Lehman
well, last time,
WRCA team.
Well, they don't want us taking their money, right, Casey? Is that what it is?
I am not saying anything.
If I was in town, I'd have helped you.
You do know Casey is an old bronc rider by trade. She could stomp those guys in the dirt.
There you go.
Look at me getting her all around up.
Well, the past is the past. As you always say, just let it go. But yeah, I actually had a good time doing that. Rode my last bronc at 39.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive. I couldn't. No, I'm not getting on one when I was 39.
Well, I shouldn't have been. Ask J.G. Williams. He helped me on. It was fine that second time. First horse, but we had fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good time.
There you go.
Moving on.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So how many teams did they have down there then?
Started out, there was 20.
Wow, that's a lot of teams.
10 and 10.
That might be the busiest.
There's a handful that got 20.
Yeah.
On these 2-day rodeos.
The 2 days is a little easier.
Right,
I guess.
They'll run 10.
Yeah.
One night, 10 the next night. So it's like 2 full, one rodeo.
Right.
And see who wins.
Excellent.
That's basically kind of what happened on this deal, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And who'd you have? Who won then? And then the winner's already in.
Yeah, the winner down at Earth was Wilson Cattle Company and Haystack Cattle Company. They actually are our defending world champions. They won the 2017 World Championship crown. So
I think we talked to Rodeo once on the phone. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, very competitive bunch of guys, very talented, and so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with even at the World Championships. And so they took first. Second place was Crossroads.
Dr. Russ.
Dr. Russ.
I think we've talked to him too, haven't we?
Yes.
Talked to Trey Russ.
I wonder how Emmett Saltemar's doing. Before Roaring Spring, he got gored by a bull. Now, he showed up. He was there at the rodeo, but, yeah, Dr. Russ needs to take a look at Emmett. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. They're out of Roswell, New Mexico, one of our New Mexico ranches. They are also qualified for the World Championship, so they will be – that was that Cimarron that they won,
yes,
Casey? Yeah. And so we went to third place to get our invited team, and this is a ranch that actually, if you've been listening, we've had one of their guys on before, Beechner Brothers Livestock out of Erie, Kansas. Calvin Kendall and his 2 boys, Cody and Caden, Ty Sweller, Chris Vitt, and Gina Kendall. That makes up that Beechner Brothers team. We're going to talk to Calvin here in a little bit and kind of get into the details of how things fared at Earth, but you'll talk about a bunch of guys that were so excited to get that. It was actually very close between them and the 4th place, which was Holt and Blue Creek. those guys, I mean, they were right there. Yeah. They didn't know who was going to get the invite, so they were both waiting for the awards.
Wow.
And you talk about the letdown on Holt Blue Creek when they announced them fourth, and immediate excitement from Calvin and his crew on Beechner Brothers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Crossroads wasn't too. I mean, Beechners weren't far off from second place either. And the thing of it is it's what's interesting about championship is so you get the invite. You know, invite sounds better than third place. Well, third place is how I ended up in the rodeo, but the invite, when you get to championship, it's a clean slate.
Yep. Start all over.
We start all over. Yep. So it didn't matter if you won a rodeo or ended up fifth at one. It's all over because all these guys are handy.
Yeah.
This is not the first time for Beechner Brothers to show presence at the championship. And 2 years ago, it was Cody Kendall's horse that ended up reserve top horse here. And it's a family deal. Yeah. You got the dad and the two brothers and then Ty, which is just like a brother, that compete. And you can tell they work together. Yeah. If anyone's at championship and you see Beechner Brothers come out, they're a very low-key team, but they've worked together so much that you can learn a lot from them on their patience and how they work well together. Yeah. And it's pretty cool.
All right, well, we're going to call up Calvin?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's call Calvin. On the phone, we got him. Calvin Kendall. Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
Coming back to Amarillo here in, just about 6 weeks or so, I think.
Yes, we can't wait.
Lehman Wall and Casey Hooper in the studio with us. They hate to hear that. Like, 6 weeks already?
It goes fast.
Yep.
You know what's funny is I don't go by the calendar. I go by the way the how it feels outside.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
starts
like
to cool
fall
off
starts
a little bit.
To cool off, and then these guys, which Calvin's doing right now, is weaning. It's seasonal. So you start. Well, we're getting close. You know, we're getting close.
Yep.
So thanks for coming on, Calvin. We'll be gentle.
You bet. All right.
No promise.
For starters, Calvin, I got to have the privilege down there at Earth to shake your hand and tell you and the boys good job. But let us be the first again to say congratulations for the invite and for getting to come to the World Championships. We're looking forward to seeing everybody.
We're glad to be able to come.
So we've had one of your boys on before. We were talking about that. Actually, both are scholarship recipients through our foundation. And so that's, we've got a special bond, I guess you could say, with this ranch team and family. And so talk to us, minus all of the rodeo stuff, which we'll get into. We want to talk more about, what it means to you to have your boys there with you, to be able to compete with them and do this lifestyle with them. Tell us what that means to you personally, Calvin.
No, it means the world to me. I mean, shoot, they've been around me, working with me their whole life, and it's pretty enjoyable. It really is.
Yeah, I could imagine. Something I always enjoy watching about you guys. You're good horsemen, and you're well mounted. You ride some good horse flesh, and so when you kind of start thinking about the year, I mean, how do you get your mind right for getting on the road and competing, and then also like today, I mean, you're horseback, you're weaning. How do you manage the workload of being able to get the stuff done versus going out with the guys and competing?
Hey, it's tough. Just that every rodeo, we just think of it as a vacation, and it's going to be fun. I tell them go have fun, and everything will work out.
He says go have fun, but when you look at Ty or you look at Caden or Cody, they're sunk into their thoughts. They're like, Dad said had fun. Gina is like Gina goes in there and she's like, I'm on work mode, she's on mom mode, and Gina's a hand too. Yeah. Gina's on the card, and when they come to championship, the whole family comes, the grandparents. I mean, I've had coffee with all these folks, and they're really, of course, I don't know. They see me coming. I don't know why everyone just gets quiet. Like, they just disperse, but I tell them to come back. No, don't leave me standing here. No, but Lehman's right. It's always a privilege and an honor to have you guys handle the cattle for these sanctioned rodeos because they know it'll be handled right. And, you know, what would you do without that gray horse Cody ride? You know, Calvin used to ride that horse, and right there is his weight in gold, but it takes a hand and a horse to make it all come together. So
it takes a lot of time.
A lot of time. Yep. And Ty, he's going to crawl on some good broncs here, and then he's going to get off, and then Caden's going to do the milking, and Calvin, who knows? Sky's the limit. But a family unit like this is very cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
Very, very cool.
So let's stay on that track a little bit, Calvin. We talked about Cody and Caden and, you know, and their involvement with you there on the ranch. Both getting their, well, one's got their education and one's still in the process. We're very honored to be able to have both those boys as part of our scholarship family. So for you and Gina, can you just kind of talk a little bit about what the foundation means to you guys?
It means a lot. That foundation's really helped us a bunch. I mean, it's helped them kids, you know, tremendously, you know, to get through college. I mean, it means a bunch. It really does. I mean,
and it's what's interesting about, and I've told it to Calvin's face, these boys all carried the 4.0. You know, they never dropped below a 3.89999. And when they get on a task, they're going to do whatever it takes to see the end of that task happen. So kudos to their mom and dad. Now, we don't know what it's like to go back and have to work with Calvin. I can't even imagine. But it says something that when Cody finished, he went back home and he's helping do what he knows to do, and that's be a cowboy, and that's through his dad and mom. So you've done a fine job, sir.
Thank you.
You have.
And they got that great average from their mother.
He always says that. But I've seen Calvin figure points in his head like in mass 2 seconds.
Well, speaking of points, let's get into earth a little bit and kind of talk about how that rodeo went. We're sitting here looking at score sheets and, you know, and all this, and it was very, very close between you guys and the second place team, actually a half a point. And, you know, Calvin, probably a lot of folks don't think about this, but we got 5 events, right, at this rodeo. So for you guys, I mean, you have done this, you know how important every point is. So for somebody that doesn't, you know, go and compete or they don't really get into the back end of the points, as you guys are competing, do you kind of have in your mind, okay, we kind of fell in the, you know, in the 3rd, 4th range right there, guy, okay, we got to kind of pick it up, or are you even able to think about that while you're in the arena?
No. When we think about that, things go to crap pretty quick. we just got to go out there and have fun and just let the chips fall where they do. I mean, you know, you look at the results. I don't think we did maybe 3rd in one event, and the rest of them we didn't really place. I mean, we're just an average team. And that rodeo, you know, the way they do their point system really worked good for us because it's more of an average rodeo.
Yeah, that brings up a good point, Calvin. Each rodeo's point system, you know, they can go in and try to figure out, but when you do it on an average, you got to just it's not about winning each event. You can't stress that enough. It's about being consistent.
Right.
So when it comes down to it, it's crazy because Ty, you know, he doesn't say much, and when the bronc riding's the last event, he's like, man, but he's cool as a cucumber. It doesn't matter if he's got to cover the bronc and that's it, or if he's got to get above a 75, that's it. Ice goes through his veins. Well, at least that's what he portrays out, you know. And it is what it is with this family. They gave 100%, and that's how it should be. You know, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I tell them to have fun, but they're competitive in their own mind. But I try to keep them pulled back and say, look, just have fun. Don't worry about it. It'll all come out.
When they were 8, 9, when Ty's been part of the family for such a long time. But there used to be, before Junior Ranch Rodeo became a popular thing, we'd have the rodeo at Pryor. And I've seen these kids grow up. I mean, like, stair-stepping. Little kids. And they come out and were young whenever to help the dad on the team. They were part of Beecham Brothers when their other age group kids and friends were still competing in Junior Ranch Rodeo. They didn't have a choice.
I think I started calling Cody, I think, when he was 16 at WRCA.
Yes, you did. Yeah. But anyway, it's cool watching them grow up and turn into the men they are. So please pass our thanks to Gina.
Yeah.
Well, Calvin, again, congratulations, bud. You need anything leading up to championship, give us a holler. But really looking forward to having y'all here. And tell everybody, good job for us.
Hey, and we appreciate y'all a bunch.
Well, are you going to just show up to Coffeyville? Or are you going to...
Yeah, they done called me and told me I couldn't compete.
Yeah, Jackie had to... She was kind of bummed about that, but it's all right. It's all right.
Yep, that's all right, for sure.
So to explain what we're talking about there for folks that may not get it. So now that Beechner Brothers is qualified, see, they're entered up in a rodeo, and to step aside and give somebody else a chance, you know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Calvin.
Thank you, guys.
Adios, Calvin.
We'll see you soon. Well, that was cool. Got the cattle in the background. Part of me thought, like, he's got the phone up on his shoulder and between his ear and his shoulder, and he's working. That's cool.
Do that.
I'm busy.
Well, and that's a good point to talk about the World Championships. Get into that a little bit. You guys, when you come to watch this rodeo, you're watching guys that so they come to town on Wednesday for the kickoff party. Well, Tuesday afternoon, they were doing what they do. They were horseback. They were doing something.
Yep.
And these are real ranches, real cowboys.
Yep.
And so the competition it's cool because, this is their tool of their trade that they're out there showing you as spectators.
You mean them bull riders don't do that for a living? They don't do that on Monday through Friday on a ranch?
Plead the fifth. Better just to stay out of that, okay?
Yeah, okay. Can we go back and delete that part?
No.
Where'd the top horse come from this time around?
Top way to segment us over, Craig. Good job. The AQHA top horse at Earth was a red roan mare. Nice little mare, dadgum. ND Stylish Little Pep was the name of that horse. It was ridden and owned by Tell Good.
Yay, Tell!
Yeah, Tell.
I think we've had him on the phone, maybe.
Well, we have not talked to Tell.
Have we not talked to Tell?
No, but we need to just because.
Real proud. Young mare, he said he's going to show her a little bit and compete on her and then, start raising some babies eventually. But very excited about that. It was bred by the Circle Bar Ranch out of Curl.
Jerry Bob.
Yeah, Jerry Bob. They're one of our ranches as well, Circle Bar. Good breeding program down there. And so congratulations to Tell.
I'm so proud of Tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good hand right there. And gee whiz, that makes me, I'm having a happy moment.
Getting emotional.
I'm a big fan of the Good family.
You can go to WRCA.org, and up there at the top where it says Sanctioned Rodeos 2018 Rodeo Results, I actually have pictures. Like, you can see a lot of these pictures. So if you're like going, okay, what's got Casey Terry? You can go check it out.
I'm just thinking of how many miles before even Tell got married to Abby, of all the memories we've got. It just... I've been doing this wall, and it's just kind of showing my age. I'm done.
Well, there is I think there's a photo they posted up there with Tell and his mare and his daughters up there with him and all that. So
Quinna.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. A funny story, a little bit funny. Tell was kind of back at the trailer.
Emotional. Well,
he was back at the trailer, getting. He didn't even know he had won the award, right? Yeah. So they were announcing for him to come up, bring your horse, and he. So, but his little girl was standing out there, and Trey Rusk, actually, with Crossroads, patted me on the shoulder and said, "Here, get this little girl over there with the trophy." So we got her over there and took a picture with her. She was smiling real big. She didn't actually give that trophy. Now that I think about it, she didn't give that trophy back to Tell. She was holding on to that.
Tell and Abby have two kids, Flint and Quinna, and Flint for like 2 years never talked. I mean, he not because he couldn't. It's just he has very shy, and I thought, oh my gosh, here comes Quinna. and she's going to give them a run for their money. Promise you.
Cute little girl.
Now, Flint won't eat. Flint could tell you whatever you need to know. He's a Talkington.
So congratulations, Tail, on that deal. Our Wrangler top hand, thanks to Wrangler Jeans, was Ty Casper with Holt Land and Cattle in Blue Creek. Actually, I think that's the second win for Ty this year on top hand. And
that's great.
Oh man, he did a great job. Had a good rodeo. So congratulations to Ty.
So Holt and Blue Creek, real quick, came on this year new. Am I right, Lehman?
Yes, ma'am.
So I haven't been at those rodeos, but I've heard their names quite a bit, and they've been in the running a couple times. You'll probably hear them again. And they will get qualified. You know, in the next, they're a powerful team if they can stick it out and not get frustrated. I mean, that's how it goes in the rodeo shows.
You're right. They've had a pretty good year. They were actually fourth at this one by half a point. So Beechner edged them out to get the invite by half a point.
Not much.
And you're right. They're good hands. They are well mounted. And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yeah,
they will be. That was a pretty tough rodeo. I'm looking down at some of the teams, and kudos to Rex and his committee. And, you know, they've really went from a 1-dayer to now 2-dayer, and proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. Good job, guys.
Yeah. So we'll kind of wrap up the results saying thanks again to Titan Fuel Tanks, a new sponsor this year, for their support of our weekly sanctioned ranch rodeo results. And come out to the championship. Titan will be there with their products at the trade show.
Yeah,
so come say hi and tell them thanks.
Exactly.
For being
if nothing
a part
else,
of our family.
Yeah, go tell them you heard about them through WRCA, and thank you for your support and what it means to you.
We always say Top Horse sponsored by AQHA. Now, Lehman, AQHA has a booth and had a booth with us for years. And I think, can you register and do stuff on your ponies there?
Well, that's thanks for thinking of that. Actually, yeah, the headquarters for AQHA is located here in Amarillo.
Yep.
So they do come out and have a booth, and you can do some basic work there. But the way they'll do that is if you got any papers that you got sitting around the house, you've not transferred, or you got some babies you hadn't got registered, if you'll bring that with you and take it to the AQHA booth, they'll actually take it to the office, process it right there, and bring it back to you, and you can pick it back up at their booth.
It's a very convenient thing, especially for a lot of our people that travel in from Arizona, Idaho, or whatever, and they just haven't had time. Now AQHA just isn't a booth in there as showing PR, their informative stuff. It's actually, there's a service that they provide to us, for our lifestyle, which is very convenient, because whenever you've had to transfer papers and all that, the reason they've waited is because it's a process.
Yeah.
So let them do it for you, and, kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly.
Yeah, good point, Casey. Yep. Good point. So let's talk World Championship.
That's right. I'll be here before you know it.
Before we get off. November 8th through the 11th. 8th through the 11th. So Saturday is sold out, has been now for a good while. Friday, guys, there are still some tickets available. Not a lot. It's getting down, to the picking. But Friday, there are still some options. Thursday and Sunday, if you guys are listening to our voice and you can travel in, Thursday and Sunday are still available. We would love to have you come hang out with us, right, Casey? Come be our friend for the weekend.
You can catch me. I will sign autographs if you can catch me.
Well, you're a little more flat of foot this time. You don't have that thing on your foot.
Oh, my gosh. That was horrible.
And WRCA.org, right there at the top, says World Championship. It's the first thing you see at the very, very top of the page, event information. I mean, it's stacked.
Oh, yeah.
All the info is right there. Everything from you start with your tickets, and then you can book your hotel.
Hotels. That's a big thing. We need to talk about the hotel deal. Yeah. Do not contact the hotels directly. And the reason we're saying that is we've worked with them and contracted for you to have the best rate available. They have to offer the best rate to you through the booking service that we have. So go to our website. There's a link there. You click on all the hotels listed. There's a phone number if you'd rather call them. If you go that route, you're going to get the best hotels in town at the best rates available.
Yeah. And there's one for every budget. I went on there just kind of cruising around looking just out of curiosity what all hotels are on there since we live here, And there's ones from the from like if you're on a tight budget or you just want to, you're on vacation. This is your cruise. You're going to get the top of the line hotel. You're still going to get a really good price even for that top of the line master honeymoon suite.
He's still got that cruise on his mind. He's still Titanicing it out there on the.
I have so many things to say. But I'm watching the door to make sure OSHA doesn't walk in, so I'm a little preoccupied.
Yeah. There's also the schedule on the website. It even starts with the Wednesday night kickoff celebration and goes all the way through, tells you everything that's going on, times and everything, and even gets down to the entertainment and little bios about everybody who's going to be there playing and stuff. So
yeah, and we don't want to take for granted, this is our 23rd year that this rodeo is taking place here in Amarillo. So sometimes you think, well, everybody knows what you got going on, right? You've been there.
Yeah.
Well, let's remind everyone, in addition to the actual rodeo competition, Casey, there's a lot of other stuff for you to come do during the daytime. And number one's the trade show, the vendor show.
Yes.
I mean, 92,000 square foot of shopping, Casey. It's crazy.
From ranch equipment to jellies and jams to those fancy gotcho pants. I don't know what they're called. Those I'm not the supermodel. To our handcrafted bit and spurs from handcrafted makers that are at their booth. They're not sending another person to represent them. They're actually here. You got Gene Klein. You got, I just could go on and on. That show has been full now since August. So, but you also have the youth cow horse, which if you want to really experience the youth of the day and you watch the news and you got all these negative things happening, come to our youth cow horse show. Holy smokes. Then you've got the RHAA. Then we're doing a special kids rodeo that's happening on Thursday. Come support your kids. We've got an auction that's taking place on Saturday. It starts at 10 o'clock in the glass room on the concourse. If you want to give back to the foundation and walk out with a piece of something, this is where you guys need to be. We also are doing our typical raffle auctions items. Obviously, we've spoke about Oliver's Saddle. They're generously donated a rough out, which I have never won. Oh my gosh. And I've spent a lot of money. Gosh darn. So is everybody else, right? Stuart Williamson just stepped up and he's going to do a handmade bit. He's also going to have a headstall done by Big Ben Saddlery. And the bit's going to contain the buckles and conchos made by Stuart. So that will be the new raffle item. So there's 2 items. And everything is usable.
How did you get your tickets for that?
So to get the tickets for that, you call the office, ask for me, and we'll go ahead and process a credit card, or you can send a check. I can send them to you. And it's $10 each or 6 for $50. And, or you can get them at Championship. The directors and our volunteers will be selling them right there on the spot. Mm-hmm. The drawing will be Sunday. And you do not need to be present to win.
And otherwise, all the festivities down there, everything, besides the raffles and stuff like that, everything you've been talking about, it's all free except for the rodeo itself.
That's right. The only things ticketed is the evening performances.
Yep.
All the other stuff, come out and see us. Our entertainers.
Yep.
Yeah,
we got a great set of poets and musicians that are going to be singing on several stages throughout the venue. And there's no charge for that. Just come hang out, have some fun.
Yep.
When have you ever got to listen to Ross Knox tell a story and not have to pay to do it? All right? This is on us. This is on us to show the quality of what our lifestyle brings. And these poets and musicians are storytellers. I mean, Rod Taylor, he packs a house. But now he's going to be there to show you what he can do and his skills. And take it all in.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Worth it.
Very cool.
Yep.
Just a few weeks away.
Yep. And, of course, we always got to say big, huge thank you to our 2 presenting sponsors of this entire event, our friends at Bud Light and Sweet Brand, both local companies that support Amarillo and support WRCA. So Lance and all the crew at Sweet Brand and Tracy and everybody over at Bud Light, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your support of what we do.
It's awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to it. It'll be here Wednesday, November 7th is when the kickoff celebration starts. And then Thursday is when the actual ranch, the rodeo starts, and Friday, Saturday. And I mean, get online. check out the whole schedule, WRCA.org, whether you're here in Amarillo listening or you're downloading this or streaming this somewhere else. WRCA.org is the place to start and go.
Sunday gets interesting, folks. Everyone sells Sunday as just the short change ticket.
Yeah.
No. There's a lot of game changers that happen on Sunday.